Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. Today I am going to share with you how I plan to do my first page in Kerby Rosanes' Dark Fairytales. Alright y'all, this is going to be my first project in this book. And I thought I would go over my plans of how I am going to tackle this page and how I'm going to break it down to try to get through it and actually finish a Kerby page. So, as you see, this is Cinderella. And what I want to do first, use your imagination here, is I'm going to use some watercolor and I'm going to give the whole thing a wash of purple. So I'm going to be starting on purple tinted paper, and I'll throw up a visual right here of what I'm talking about. I'm going to start on purple tinted paper because to me, I want this to be a nighttime scene, and that's going to start me off with that kind of evening, kind of glow, kind of, you know what I'm talking about? It's going to illuminate it like it's already, like it's dark because of the purple. So everything's going to be purple. And then see, I am dedicating a whole little notebook to notes on this book of how I'm going to plan out the pages, and I'm going to put my color combinations down. I'm really going to try to keep track of this. What I did is I mapped out, I went through the page. I've literally studied these pages. I went through the pages and wrote down each little section that I wanted to concentrate on. So as I said, the watercolor wash is going to be over the whole thing. And I'm going to use my grabby watercolors. And I'm either going to use, let's see. I wrote it down here. The dark violet. I'll take this out. Actually, it'd be easier for you to see. I'm going to either use the dark violet or the purple. Now, I know they look very close, but they're not the same. Obviously, the dark violet is a little darker. I say obviously. I don't know what my camera's showing you, but this one is a little bit darker. I'm leaning more towards the royal purple to give it a full wash. Let me make sure I put these back in the right thing. It's that one. And then the windows. Because I'm going to treat this as a double page spread, even though it's not actually, but that's how I'm going to treat it. But like the windows back here, in here, and the stained glass, all this, and the sky back here behind the trees, I'm going to make all of that black because I'm going to use some kind of Posca or something to make the little dots to kind of make it look like stars in the sky. Are you picturing it with me? And then I'm going to do the crows. There are 9 crows, and I counted them because this one here kind of blends in a little bit. So I wanted to count them, and of course they're going to be black. And at first I was like, oh no, I can't make them black because I'm going to make the sky black. But none of them are directly in the sky, if you will. There's a tree right behind him. And there's one over here too. Did I count him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I must have. But they're all in front of the trees or on the pumpkin. So I should be okay with having the black background of the sky and the birds being black, the crows. And then, of course, we've got the element of the trees. So if I focus on the trees, I'm not sure if I'm going to make the trees a purple color, a darker purple, because if I do that and I leave the highlights, the purple wash that's under it is going to come out anyway. So I may make them purple. I'm not quite decided on that yet. And then, of course, we've got the road down here. That's my next section. I'm not going to work on these in this particular order. I'm just grouping things together. But the road is going to take a little bit of work to do here. And I'm probably going to use watercolor on that as well. Will I? No. Because I'm already going to have the watercolor wash. See, I'm still working it out. But I know that I want the road to kind of be a tannish color, like dirt. That's what I'm going to do with that part. And then the pumpkin, when I start to color the pumpkin, I'm going to focus on the pumpkin part and the carriage that it's on, and also all the pumpkins and the vegetation down here at the bottom. And of course my pumpkin's going to be orange, but it's going to be a dark orange, and I want to have some gold in it. I'm going to be using this ultra shining fluid gold foil paint. If you haven't seen it, let me show you what it looks like. I'm not going to open the paint itself because it can get very messy. But it's very, very shiny, as you can see. It takes a little shaking. But there's little circles on the pumpkin that I'm gonna make gold there. But on the inside of the pumpkin, this part where she would have been writing, I want to make that also like a deep purple. And when I'm talking deep purple, I'm talking like this kind of purple. That's what I want it to look like. But on the inside here, and then where are we? Because I'm also gonna make the wheels, and the part that connects the horses, I'm gonna use this gold with that as well. And because I want to keep the colors cohesive, I'm gonna bring the gold over here to the chandeliers. And I don't want to make them all gold because there's such detail in them that this is just going to cover it up and it's going to get lost in there. So there's going to be like just sparing little dots of gold just to give it a glimmer. Because I have a color combination. I should have written it down, but I think I can figure it out. Let me move some things around here that I used in this book, Wondrous Folk. And this is the Black Widow pencils. Oh, did I write it down? I did not. I wrote the arch down. That's good. But I'm going to try to remember what colors I used for this gold here. And that's what I'm going to color the chandeliers with that part. And I have not mentioned, I'm going to use Prismacolor and Black Widow pencils. I never do that. I never mix my pencils like that. But for this page, I'm going to because of the color combinations that I need. So I'm going to make this the gold. And then these arches back here, I'm going to make this bronzy color. So I'm going to be mixing bronze and gold over into this page. But where was I at on this? Okay, the chandelier, gold. And then it looks like that there's a light coming from this way. So I'm going to try to make this kind of blue. And I want the horses to be black, but where the shadow or where the highlight is, I'm going to let a lot of that purple show through, and I'm going to add some light blue to that. So there's going to be like a blue mist coming through. I hope this makes sense. And then I wrote down Cinderella's shoe because I wanted to make sure that I did not miss it down here. And I'm probably just going to outline that in like a jelly roll, a white jelly roll or something like that, because it's supposed to be a glass slipper. So everything, you should be able to see everything through it. So I'm going to try to just outline that. And then the next section that I would concentrate on would be the background people. And all the colors that I use over here, like the orange for the pumpkin and the inside of the purple here. And then like down in here, I'm going to make the leaves like blue. So you're kind of getting that, the color scheme that I'm going for. But everything that's used over here, I'm going to bring it over here to keep everything cohesive. I'm going to bring it over here into the people's clothing. I hope that made sense. And then I said something about the pillars and the stairs already. I'm going to make those the bronzy color that I just showed you in the other picture. And then Cinderella, I'm not sure. I still haven't made up my mind what color dress I'm going to have her in. But for Death, I know I'm going to use burgundy, black, and gold for him. I just see that for some reason. And then the floor, I'm not positive about that either, because obviously it's already going to be purple because of the watercolor wash. So I don't know if I just like lean into the purple and, you know, obviously give it some shadow and things like that, because I also don't want to lose this intricate detail on the flooring. But I think I will put some of the gold paint around here, the circle on the floor, to kind of bring it out. But yes, that is how I plan to tackle this page. I don't know, did you find this interesting? Did you find it helpful? I just looked at the page over and over and over again and just broke down each little section that I thought would help me finish the page. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have this book and you haven't colored in it yet, grab it and get the Cinderella page and color it with me. I'm going to try to get this one done this month. We'll see. I have high hopes that I will. But yeah, that's it, y'all. If you stuck around in the video for this long, I appreciate you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or wherever you are in the world when you're listening to this. Until next time, y'all. Bye.